Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Archangels and Ascended Masters, for the perfect grace, perfect clarity, and perfect peace that's here for us right now. If we could just breathe into right where you are, if you could just notice how your body would like to be aligned to best receive healing. If that's just sitting with nothing crossed or palms up or palms on your heart, whatever it is, just noticing what your body would like to do to best receive. There's no right and wrong with that, but we'll just lovingly take that guidance. Thank you to the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity for wonderful grace, perfect peace, and outstanding love. We're so grateful for the perfect healing that exists right now. So if we could just breathe in, and in this space of some silence, let's very simply notice your body communicating to you. If we could just breathe in with kindness, like to a friend. If we could just very simply just notice what it is your body feels would add. What would your body like to add? If we could just breathe in perhaps a bit deeper than normal. And let's very simply add groundedness. So let's very simply just feel the weight of your body being supported by whatever it is you're sitting on or lying on. And the sturdiness of that piece of furniture or bed or structure. And if we could just lovingly breathe in, let's add in relaxation. We're noticing self-sufficiency here, that everything is here. And that we don't need to have alarms go off to pay attention. If we could just breathe in and just notice what it's like to relax. Let's indeed just breathe in like it's your very first breath. And let's repeat that. And let's allow that breathing in like it's our first breath to let two things come into focus: this present moment and the absolute marvel of the different systems in our bodies working together: respiration, circulation. And let's add our free will. Let's very simply take in a breath. And as our conscious adult selves, let's say out loud, thank you, angels, for being with me right now. Wonderful. If we could notice the angels sitting with you, primarily Archangel Michael, and also all the angels we know by name, Archangel Ariel. Let's notice Michael and Ariel perhaps sitting right beside you. If they pull up a chair, great. Let's very simply notice them duplicating our actions thus far, which is to feel our bodies supported by furniture, foundations, structures in the earth, to notice our availability to change and to care, that we're a breath away from change. We'll notice that we call the angels, and they're already here as we place our attention on them. Let's very simply add in healing. So let's very simply just take in a breath. And let's say out loud, I welcome the perfect healing for me right now. I welcome the perfect healing for me right now. Thank you, angels, for healing every part of my being. Thank you, angels, for healing every part of my life. Wonderful. So if we could notice, and perhaps with lovely subtlety, we could just notice the angels engaging in healing, which might be just through an angelic glance, angelic presence. But if we could feel, see, hear, or know, or take my word for it, that our cells are in action, that there is a wonderful blossoming in the cells, allowing healing energy, unconditional love to come to the forefront, to be highlighted and glow within every single cell. And if we could notice, like using a magnet, we'll notice Archangel Ariel very simply just pulling out of you, pulling away from you, pulling off of you anything that we might label as toxic or diminishing, anything stressful, anything concerning. So we'll just breathe in and let all these actions happen. And just noticing all these additions, the addition of care, the addition of presence, the remembrance of capacity and capability. Wonderful. We'll notice two friends kneeling at your feet, perhaps touching your ankles and foot. Let's notice Archangel Raphael and the Master Healer Jesus at your feet. Let's notice them taking on the role of healers. And if we could notice them with echoes of Cinderella, if we could notice them taking off anything like a shoe that might be too tight. So let's notice anything that's too tight, anything ill-fitting, be that an old belief, be that a projection from someone else, be that rules. Let's very simply notice everything flowing freely. An absence of constriction, the presence of flow. Wonderful. And if we could notice in their wording, a herd of goddesses, a whole lot of goddesses, doing two things. One, walking in front of you. So they are displaying themselves, and each one adding a gift to you. And if we could just breathe into their presence and not so much make the activity trying to identify them, but to feel the flow created in the space that you're in, the care provided, and like choreography, a circle of goddesses surrounding you after they pass you by. So let's just feel, and that might be for a visual outside of the structure that you occupy right now. So let's notice that you occupy a held space right now with a great deal of care. Great. And we'll notice the goddess Kali, who works with transformation. And if we could take in a breath, and perhaps with a stretch, if we could notice Kali, who's quite tall, say we stretch our arms out, let's notice, or up, let's notice Kali touching the tip of your fingertips on either side and creating a new current, a new flow throughout your entire being. If that flow is centered on coherence, so releasing any excess charge of electricity, wireless radiation, stress, fear, the news. And it's very simply just notice the energy of coherence and order. And we'll just let that happen. And if we could notice the goddesses in a very deliberately tranquil way, cleaning the floors, especially in the kitchen. And if we could notice them duplicating that activity in millions and millions of spaces and homes, and if we could notice them cleaning the kitchens of anyone you're concerned about or that concerns you, be that people making decisions, people you might not trust or have wariness around, let's notice their kitchen being cleaned. And whatever that means to you, let's notice that there's a uniformity in the goddess's intentions, which is creating a space where people can focus, creating a commonality of love, and noticing how unique we are in love in every single moment. So we'll just breathe and notice all that goodness, all that grace. And if we could notice from the goddesses an invitation for all, for you, your loved ones, for anyone you're concerned about or worried about, for anyone that worries you, if we could just breathe in. They're playing, I think it's Bessie Smith, the song, it's an old blues song, Come in My Kitchen. If we could just breathe into that invitation, for there to be a sense of a shared experience of being human. Everyone eats. Most people prepare food. If we could just notice that space of preparation being cleansed and cleared. And if we could notice the goal overall from the goddesses, including Kali and Lady Portia, is purity. A purity of intention, purity of love, purity in our systems, pure healing, and great grace. So we'll just notice all those things in action right now. Their word is active. Let's notice those things being active right now. And if we could notice something, let's very simply notice, perhaps it's two things at once, which we can handle. Let's notice the space where you just observe the goddesses at work while receiving for yourself. Let's notice this space where you participate in that, participate in the uniformity of experience, the experience of ritual, let's say preparing food or consuming food. And let's just notice the blessing that is here for everyone to recognize that commonality, to release status. She released the idea that some people are authorities and some people follow, and recognize that we are the authorities in our own lives. We're the authors of our own lives. And just noticing that without a fight, without any conflict, without a negotiation, just holding that space and choosing peace in that space and allowing that recognition, that absence of judgment, that clarity of role. It's very simply let that in itself be a healing. That we all want peace and love. We all have incredible capacity. We're all a bit fed up with being stressed out. And it's safe for us to claim our perfect healing and health. Declare our independence from collective energies and lead the way toward greater peace. Let's very simply just breathe into all that. Let's just say a few things out loud. They like to start with, usually they end with this. Let's start with, what is it that you would like to say out loud as your conscious adult self right now? Just notice that. Is that your name or something else? And let's say our own names out loud. I am Mark. I declare my independence. I am free. I am healed and healthy. I focus on love. I give and receive love. I drop out of judgment. I embrace civility. I am fulfilled in every part of my life. I am graceful and kind. I embody fulfillment. Every system in my body works perfectly. Including my radiant consciousness. I allow a detoxification to happen in my body, mind, and spirit on planet Earth and in the universe. I see and celebrate unconditional love. I emphasize the in unconditional love. I circulate love. Wonderful. Good work, everyone. If we could just breathe in and just feel that circulation. And if we could notice coming back to an earlier activity of grounding, just notice you being right where you are, feeling your body being supported by furniture, a structure, a foundation, and the earth. Noticing goodness being present right now. And let's very simply feel Archangel Michael sitting perhaps to your right, Archangel Ariel to your left, the goddess Kali, balancing energies. And if we could notice just another layer of release, just releasing anything that feels constrictive or limiting, and allowing your unlimited nature, your unlimited consciousness, your unlimited energy, the radiant power of your heart, the gift of your free will and your words. Let's notice all these things being fully present right now. And let's say out loud to ourselves, I love you. Let's say out loud to ourselves and for ourselves, I am radiantly healthy right now. Wonderful. And we'll notice at our feet, Raphael and the Master Healer Jesus. We'll notice the healing and the detoxification they've performed, administered. And if we could very simply just notice any sense of cloud, any sense of a cloud or cloud being around your head in your aura, let's notice that cloud lifted. And indeed, let's notice pure light pure dexterity, pure grace, the ability to flow, the ability to change, the ability to be fully present, the absence of fear. We'll notice all these things being present right now, and we'll celebrate them. With generous praise and perfect love, let's very simply breathe in. And let's say out loud, I am free. And let's say out loud to all of life, the trees, the plants, the birds, other people, the air, the water, I am free. And with wonderful peace of mind, great clarity, and wonderful love, we say out loud to all the angels, all the goddesses, all the guides, thank you so much. And they're asking that we be specific. We'll notice saying to Kali, who's changed the electrical systems in your body, creating coherence, we'll say out loud, thank you, Kali. To Michael and Ariel, thank you, Michael and Ariel. Thank you, Raphael and Jesus. Thank you, goddesses. Thank you, life. And to ourselves, with our own name, thank you, Mark. Wonderful. We'll just breathe in. And thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Archangels and Ascended Masters, for all this goodness, all this grace, all this peace, all this healing. Right now, we recognize and celebrate the plenitude present in life, all the grace and all the peace. And we celebrate being heard, listening, hearing, communicating, being in communion and relationship with the angels, guides, and goddesses. We celebrate the expansive good that is here right now. We recognize that everything is here. We recognize that everything is here. And we celebrate that fact. We celebrate our facility to care for ourselves, to receive care, and to care for others. And we welcome what's next in the most positive way possible. And we anticipate good, we create good, we celebrate good. And with generosity, peace, and ease, we quite simply and lovingly ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time. And so it is.